Coffee time again, exposing the truth. Welcome to Coffee Time Again, exposing the truth. Dale at the microphone, the show that demonstrates how history repeats itself. He digs into the past, shows what happens, and how it is happening now. Follow the path of history to where it goes, then relate it to today to reveal the connections. The culture that forgets its history has no future. A history buff and loves to talk about it, going back as far as ancient Greeks and Egyptians and beyond. So grab your coffee, your chair, and listen to the show. Hope you enjoy.
Good morning, USA. It's a good day today. At least it is outside. It looks like it's going to be a pretty decent day. I hear there's snow in the mountains, which is good. They can keep it up there. So, welcome to the show. This is Coffee Time Again, where we expose the truth. Today, we're exposing the truth with Kathy on depression. And it's a very effective, very debilitating disease, and it's not easy to treat. Kathy's found a way to do it.
Mhm.
And I'm interested in knowing why she did it because I'm depressed myself most of the time. So I'm interested in finding out what's going on. So let's invite Kathy into the show. Come on in, Kathy, and tell us about yourself.
Hi, Dale. It's so great to be here this morning, and thank you so much for inviting me onto your platform.
You're welcome.
Um, so yes, I'm Cathelina, better known as Kathy, and I did publish a book called The Box that I wrote about a young woman who suffers with depression, and I based her feelings of depression, her experience with depression on what I experienced with depression. And besides that, our stories are completely different. Hers is completely fabricated. Um, but I had been suffering with depression since I was about 11 to 12 years old. Did not realize that that's what I was suffering with. Early on in my 20s, I wanted to write something meaningful. I've always been into writing. And so I started writing about a woman who was going through issues. That's what I called it at the time because I didn't know it was depression. And I wanted to create a story about a woman who was going through her issues and how, people would always tell me, get over it. Why are you always so sad? Why are you always crying? All this stuff. And I always questioned that myself. So the story was supposed to help readers understand that this is, that my main character is going through something that you can't just easily get over. And when I was finally diagnosed with depression early on in my writing of this book, I decided then I was like, okay, that's what my main character is going through. So I did my research on depression, on medication, what types of depression there are, and because I started writing this book so long ago in early 2000, I decided to keep it there. So just recently published it, but when I picked it up again so that I could revise it, I was like, I went back and forth with, should I set this in today's time period or should I keep it in the early 2000s? And I decided to keep it in the early 2000s. But with that, I still use the same not terminology. What I want to say is that we know so much more about depression today than we did 25 years ago. People are talking about it so much more now than they did 25 years ago. So all of that aspect is in the book about 25 years ago when nobody was really talking about it. And and I realized very early on, well, not early on, actually, no. I realized when I picked it up again in about 2017 that writing about it was really helping me overcome it. And in the meantime, I, my sister, two of my cousins, we got together so that we can start holding each other accountable for different things in art that we wanted to take care of in our lives. We started meditating and sharing different types of meditations that we each enjoyed. And through that, I was always on YouTube looking at these different motivational videos that I would find. I would listen to them all the time. I started doing affirmations along with my meditation. And I found that doing that, writing, all of that incorporated together started helping me feeling better. I didn't realize it at the time that it was. It wasn't until like maybe a year in of doing all that that I realized I haven't been depressed in a long time. And so I started really thinking, well, what have I been doing that was different? I was not seeing a therapist at the time, but I had been before and I am now. I highly, highly recommend seeing therapists. I think that is so important for us to talk out our issues with somebody who is trained to help us develop the skills that we need to go through in order to overcome our issues. But I started noticing that all these things that I was doing all together helped me with my feeling better about myself, about my life. Because before I was, the part of my depression was self-hatred, self-loathing. And so I found that I wasn't hating myself as much, which was a very good thing. And it was all due to the meditations that I was doing, the self-affirmations, and these positive motivational videos that I was listening to.
Mhm. I spent 24 years as a drug and alcohol therapist,
Hmm.
which involves a lot of mental health issues,
Hmm.
including depression is a big one.
Yes.
So when you're talking about affirmations, one of the things that I had my clients do every week was come up with a positive affirmation. And I
Hmm.
stressed it had to be positive. And in other words, I won't drink today is not a positive affirmation.
Right.
So it had to be positive. And they struggled with it real hard, but
Mhm.
they got to it. The ones that really made some progress got to that, those affirmations. And I had a journal, but I had a journal with the, if they were left-handed, I had a journal with the right hand.
Oh, why is that?
It detaches the brain from, from the mind controlling the writing.
Hmm.
So when you start using the other hand and you're so focused on trying to write neatly that you
Uh-huh.
only focus on the words you say.
Oh, wow.
And it really helped coloring, especially, not so much writing, but I found
Mhm.
out that coloring with the other hand really helps.
Hmm.
Great,
I
just put in
think,
a coloring book and some crayons or some pencils
uh-huh.
and color. I still do it today.
I think that's a form of meditation. Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. And we did meditation too, but we also did other things too. But yeah, that affirmations, the writing, the coloring.
Hmm. 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 Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and it was like a light bulb when I realized that all of everything that I was doing was helping me, and I was so excited about it. I wanted to talk about it. I,
Yes.
I wanted to tell people about it. And mind you, and I understand that this is not a very easy thing for people to do on a consistent basis, even because I was doing this every single day,
Yeah.
all of it. And I can't discount the fact that I was exercising on a daily basis as well. Now, I would exercise like every weekend because I felt like I didn't have the time during the week. Where actually, I learned later that I was just telling myself that I didn't have the time. I made the time. So I started working out on a consistent basis, mainly for vanity reasons, really. I wanted my body to look a certain way, but I didn't realize that it was going to help me. It was going to help me love myself and help me gain a positive perspective because of the endorphins that are involved. And not only that, I didn't journal as much. I didn't, but I think I think it's because I was writing my stories, writing my book. And for a very long time, I was just way too depressed to even write. So there were times when I would just, I mean, it took me a very long time to get the book finally to print, um, because there have been years that I couldn't even look at the work. It was just too depressing for me to even look at it.
Yeah, it's rough. I'm writing my autobiography, and I haven't written in it in
Mm.
about 3 months now because I just can't get back into it right at this point.
Mm. Yeah,
I just
yeah.
moved and everything's going on, so I just put
Hmm.
it aside for a little while. So I'll get back to it here eventually.
Yeah,
But I see what you're saying about the writing. That sometimes it can be doing it every day just gets to you.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. One of the reasons why I did let go of the book for a time is because I became a teacher, right? I was working in the publishing industry
Hmm.
as an assistant, and then I decided I had a calling to be a teacher. When I became a teacher, that was very, very stressful for me. It was a lot of work,
Yeah.
and so during the school year, I was not working on my novel. But when the summers came around, now I'm all of a sudden all by myself, right?
Yep.
I don't have to report to work every day. I'm not keeping in touch with the teachers that I grew friendly with. I'm all by myself. My sister is at work, and that's when all these feelings of depression consumed me. Hate, self-hatred. I for some reason could not leave the house. Anytime I tried to leave the house, I had this fear of what might happen if I went outside. A slight case of agoraphobia, I guess. It was very
Yeah.
strange, and I didn't understand it, and it frightened me. It scared me, but I had all these things that I did not know how to navigate until I started seeing a therapist.
Yeah. When did you start seeing a therapist?
Um, I want to say. Oh gosh, about maybe 2014,
2014.
2015.
Yeah.
And I had been seeing a therapist prior to that. I don't even remember the years anymore, but it was before I became a teacher. I
Hmm.
became a teacher in 2008, right? I was seeing a therapist for very, very briefly. When I quit my job, I no longer had insurance. So I stopped seeing a therapist, and for years I wasn't until about 2015 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I realized, and when I saw the therapist again in 2015, it was because I realized that I was not doing okay. I was not doing okay. I was out drinking all the time, doing things that really were dangerous to my livelihood. I was I wasn't going anywhere. If I was by myself, I was going to stay indoors. There were days when I didn't even leave my apartment. Um, and I knew that I wasn't doing okay, and I felt like I needed to see a therapist again.
A lot of people have told me they've had trouble finding a therapist that could work with them. Did you have that kind of problem? Or did you find somebody
I
that worked real well right off the bat?
Not right off the bat. There was the first therapist that I saw. I realized that he was okay. He was fine actually. I just felt like I needed something more. And there was another time I worked with a woman who no longer took my insurance, or who didn't
Hmm.
take my insurance rather. And then when I did finally find a therapist, at first I. I did not give her the chance to help me.
Yeah.
So I would go to my therapy sessions and sit there feeling very tight-lipped, putting up a wall, and all these things that she was saying about me, and telling me, just just making me aware of where I was coming from. I would be angry, so I would not say anything. I'd be like, yeah,
Hmm.
with an attitude. And then when she called me on it, I had to make a decision. Are you going to continue being this way? If you are, you might as well not see her. Or are you going to take your therapy seriously? And that's when I finally took my therapy seriously.
Yeah.
And it was everything that she was telling me. I was like, okay, I came to each therapy session with a notebook. I was taking notes, and she was giving me homework, and I was really focusing on it. And that's when I realized that my therapy was helping.
Yeah. I accidentally found one in California back in 2015. I remember it was February 19th, 2015, the first time I seen him. I remember it so well. He was an incredible therapist,
Mhm.
absolutely incredible. I'm an alcoholic,
Mhm.
and I quit drinking in '89.
Oh,
But I've been in therapy
congratulations.
since then, off and on, pretty much
Mhm.
on therapy,
Mhm.
just because I'm going to stay sober.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
it's rough. And my
Absolutely.
depression was causing the part of the drinking.
Yes,
Was part
yes.
of it. Was that my depression, and my whole family was depressed, not just me, just the whole family.
Mm-hmm.
My mother
Mm-hmm.
especially would sit for hours in front of the at a rocking chair in front of the wall and just sit there and walk for hours back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that depression does run in the family?
In my family, it does, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We still have, although I have both my siblings, two of my three siblings passed away, they were very depressed. My
Mm-hmm.
sister is the one that's still living, is still depressed.
Mm-hmm.
She sees a therapist, has seen the same therapist for about 20 years now.
Hmm.
and she just hasn't. She's kind of like you. She's not opening up as much as she should be. I don't think, based on what I know, which isn't much, but based on what I know and my own history, I don't think she's opening up enough for it. But it's her business. Like she's 80 years old, and I can't do anything about it.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow, wow.
So
It's tough, and I think part of the symptoms of depression is not seeking the help for it. You know,
yes,
right. It's so there I know that there are people who don't understand depression and they're like, "Whoa." What I was saying before, people are like, get over it or
yeah,
talk to somebody or seek help or it's not that easy. It's really not that easy. You're so stuck in your head and in your mind and all the negativity that's that's swarming up in there. It's very, very hard to seek help. And when I that's why I feel like one of the things that I tell people is to find that thing that you are passionate about, immerse yourself in that thing. And I think that immersing myself in writing is what helped me to finally open up. And finally, and among other things, obviously, because I think there are so many different ways, so many different things that could come together to help you overcome
yeah.
depression.
The sad part about not seeking help and the uh, people who put down we were depressed and they put us down. Well, just get over it. Like, you got a cold, just get over it. And it
Hmm.
doesn't work that way. You know it as
It
well as I
doesn't.
do.
Yeah, it doesn't work
The
that way.
sad part about it is ones that don't get help and
Hmm.
instead act like Robin Williams, who was depressed and he was
Yeah.
very sick,
Hmm.
hung himself
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
instead of seeking help.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's the sad
Yeah.
part about it.
That's the sad part about it. That's the sad part about it. And somebody like Robin Williams, who was beloved and always showed a happy face and
Yeah.
a comedian, made people laugh. It was his job to make people laugh, and on the inside, he was hurting. And
Hmm.
nobody knows this. It's the silence, the silent. I don't want to say the silent killer, but
It is.
it's the sickness that you cannot see on the
Yeah.
outside. Not really.
Self-loathing, self-hate,
Hmm.
telling
Hmm.
yourself you're worthless, you're not going to be amount to anything, you're never going to do anything, and it's all that type of self-talk that keeps us stuck.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
We have to
Absolutely.
get out of that.
Yeah, that's absolutely.
Excuse me.
Yeah, yeah. It's that negative self-talk. And one of the things that I like about affirmations is that you know, it forces, I don't want to use the word forces, but it helps you to start seeing yourself in a positive light because people may think, oh, if you're always saying positive affirmations about yourself, like I am a worthy person, but what if you don't really believe it? Well, that's the thing. We keep saying something until we believe it. Because that's what happens when children are young and somebody tells them that they can't do something. Children are the ultimate believers, right? They believe that they
Yeah,
can do whatever they want to do,
right.
right? But if somebody keeps telling them they can't do it, then that's what they're going to start telling themselves, and they're going to believe that. But
Yeah,
so it's the same thing with us. So, I mean, we have to speak to our inner child, right? We have to tell ourselves, you are worthy, you can do this. And you keep telling yourself this, you keep telling yourself this until you really believe it.
yep,
And then you start taking actions that will help you with it, right? And then
right.
when you take those actions and your actions prove that you can do it, then you start believing even more. And I just think that it's just so important.
It really is. And I believe in writing them down.
Yes.
I don't have it now. I haven't put it up, but there for years I had a list of affirmations on the wall behind my
Hmm.
computer. So
Hmm.
I could just look up and see one at random.
Hmm.
That was a real help for me because then I was I have dyslexia and it's real hard for me to remember things. And then, of course,
Hmm.
I've also got dementia, but that's another story.
Hmm.
Uh, my age. But, I heard that from my parents and I was worthless. I never amount to anything. And I believed them for so many years.
Yeah,
But I've
yeah.
had three very successful careers. I was a
Hmm.
chef for 28 years. I was a counselor for 24 years. And for the last 5 years, I've been a podcaster. It's been
I love
successful.
that.
So
I
I
love
guess I
that.
can amount to something. And I
Yes,
haven't been.
absolutely. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried blogging when I first started, when I first retired, and it just didn't go anywhere. I'm not that much of a writer. It didn't have AI around to help me, so the blog
Hmm.
didn't go anywhere. But the podcast went a long way.
Nice, nice. I'm so happy for you for that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think there's so many of us out there though, but I'm still doing just fine now.
Mm.
My
Uh-huh.
therapist is in California. I'm here. I call him. He calls me back. Or I text
Hmm.
him, say, hey, I just text him, say, hey, I need some help. Couple of days later, he calls me back, and we spend an hour on Zoom talking.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So
And see, and that just a testament to it's never too late to do what you love, and it's never too late to seek help. It's
no,
never, yeah,
it is never too late.
yeah.
But the sooner you do it, the better off you're going to be. Like in your case with your age, uh, I was 38 when I stopped drinking,
Hmm.
so I was not old, but I wasn't young either.
Hmm. Hmm.
And 39. I was 39 when I quit drinking. 1979, 1989. I said 39. Uh,
Wow.
and that's when I started seeing therapists on a regular, consistent basis,
Hmm.
depending on where I was at with insurance. Because I had a
Hmm.
lot of that insurance nonsense like you were talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So the company I was working for didn't have very good insurance because I was working for the county,
Okay.
California,
Hmm. Hmm.
working at the county behavioral health center,
Right.
which was an interesting thing. Talk about depression.
Oh, wow.
A lot of that there with them because dual diagnosis, most alcoholics and addicts are dual diagnosed. I'm not sure if you know that. The mental health issues and
Hmm.
the addiction issues. And the
Ah.
problem is with society today is they're not treating them together,
Mm.
treating them separately. You need to treat them together to have any type of success. And that's what I was doing in California, was doing a dual diagnosis group and just having a great time doing it and
Oh,
successful.
oh, that's so beautiful. I love that. Have you had any people that you help reach out to you in their later years?
Yes,
Oh,
I've had
I,
my
uh,
boss when I left here and went to California. The company I was working for, they told me I came back one time just for vacation. She
mhm.
showed me a stack of letters about like that my clients had written to her about me and how
Wow.
happy they were. And one guy said, he can't leave. He can't retire. He hasn't fixed me yet. I can't fix you anyway, but that's the
Oh,
type of,
wow.
yes, I got some very good recommendations. And if
Mhm.
Colorado hadn't changed the law, I'd still be a therapist.
Mm, wow. Wow, that's I'm sure that you're incredibly proud of that.
I am very, very proud of it. I'm
Hmm.
proud of being a therapist. I'm proud of my job. When I was a cook, I'm proud of what I'm doing now,
Hmm.
podcasting. Because I don't. The only people I don't talk to are sports people. I'm not a
And
sports
why
fan, so go
and why is
focus,
that?
please.
Why is that?
I just don't like sports for some reason. I just don't care for it at all,
Okay.
and so I don't do sports. I send them over to
Hmm.
fight. Go find some sports buddy. I can
Hmm.
find you one, but
Hmm.
I don't do sports because I don't like it.
Yeah,
And
okay.
since it's my podcast, I do what I want to do.
There you go. There you go. Hmm.
You said you were about 10 or 11 when you started experiencing depression, but you didn't know what it was. What did you think it was?
Um, I don't think I thought about it.
You didn't think you thought about it?
No. Um, so I've my depression was in the form of outbursts of anger.
Oh, okay.
So and I cried a lot, but I didn't know it was something. I
Hmm.
just thought that this was me,
Yeah,
you know? So I it was because I experienced I guess sexual molestation when I was very young.
yeah.
And
Oh,
it was after that that I the outbursts, the anger, the crying and I just thought it was me. I just thought that that's how it was. I
yeah,
never put it put connected the two until I
yeah,
was like I'm gonna say about 10 years ago, if even that
yeah. You
long.
connected the two.
I
Yeah.
connected the two. So
Uh,
when I was younger and always angry, upset, especially when I was out in in social gatherings, social situations. Um, I'm an introvert, but I think it was especially pronounced when I was around members of the opposite sex and
Yeah.
um, just just feelings of discomfort, not feeling like I really belonged there, and I just never knew what it was. I just thought that that was just me. That's just how I am,
Yeah.
and it wasn't until I was in my 20s that I sought a therapist because my sister, who
Yeah.
was used to me having these outbursts for no reason, she was just like, I've had enough. I'm gonna find you a therapist. And she's the one who sought a therapist for me. And that was my first round of therapy. And it wasn't until like about 10 years ago when I was watching a program where this it was a program about this woman who was molested and it suddenly I suddenly made the connection. I started thinking about, oh my gosh, I understand now. I understand why I went through what I did. It was just unbelievable. And I don't think I would have made that connection had I not been in therapy,
Yep.
already reflecting on my behavioral issues, my self-loathing, and just a number of things. And
Mhm.
I don't think I would have ever made that connection had I not already been in therapy.
Probably you would have at some point, I believe, Kathy, but would have taken longer, in my
Longer, yeah.
opinion. My
Yeah, yeah.
professional opinion too, by the way.
Yeah.
Because somehow I was abused as a child, both physically, sexually abused. I mean, if it was abuse in my family, it happened.
Hmm.
It's just horrible. And I told him at 14.
Hmm.
And finally put it all together, including the fact that I was trafficked. My mother
Wow.
trafficked me.
Wow.
So, they wonder, well, why does he drink so much? Well, take a look. Now I can tell them that.
Wow.
But I didn't make the connection till, yeah, about 10 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
2015, when I
Wow.
met Dr. Diggs. When I
Mm-hmm.
made the wheel, I mean, I knew there was some part of it was all a part of everything, but no, it was
Mm-hmm.
kind of connected, but I wasn't. Well, until I talked to Dr. Diggs extensively for a long time and was very open and very honest with him,
Mm-hmm.
that it all came together, and I go, oh, okay. And I'd been sober for years and years by that,
Mm-hmm.
20 years by that time.
Mm-hmm.
But
And it's so funny because that incident that happened when I was 11 wasn't even, I mean, I remember it, but it wasn't something that I held on to. You know what I mean? It wasn't something I
good.
remembered every day. It wasn't something I thought about. It happened. I remember when it happened. I remember I was distraught when it happened,
Mhm.
but then I felt like I moved on, and it's not something that I thought about on a regular basis. So it was just very interesting. It's so
Yeah.
interesting how
So
how
many
our
people don't do that.
experiences.
They dwell
Yeah,
on it, and then they get into the alcohol and the drugs and the
yeah,
lifestyle and
yeah.
just absolutely destroy themselves and their lives and their families.
Mm.
You do a blog?
I do. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's called Kathy's Cross, a depressive's positive perspective. And I decided to do that when I realized that all of these things that I was doing was helping me overcome depression. So I was just like, I was kind of excited that I felt like I had something to share with people.
Hmm.
And so I created that blog to talk about how we as depressives can keep a positive perspective on a daily basis. And I started taking things that happened in my recent past and thinking about how maybe talking about how I reacted and how I could have done it differently, or what's my positive take on it now. How did it help me grow? So that's what my blog is about, really.
Sounds
And
intriguing.
yeah.
Mine was on history. I mean, history back in
Mm-hmm.
Alley-Oop's day. Do you
Mm.
remember who Alley-Oop was? I So you do the blog, you don't do a was it you having is it successful?
Not really. So let me tell you the uh not the origin, but like how that blog came to be. Um in when I turned 40 years old, I was not yet married and I wanted to be because I wanted to have children. I wanted a traditional, you know, um, I, I
Mm.
wanted to have children within wedlock. Yeah. Thank you. And and this was like a real big concern of mine. I mean, I think I was like practically obsessed with it. And I was just like, why do I not yet have a husband? Why don't I have even a boyfriend who could later be my husband? So I decided to write about it and I created a blog called The True Confessions of a Reluctant Bachelorette. And I had so much fun with it. I had so much fun with it, and I started writing about my bad dates. I was writing about like why I'm a good catch. Why doesn't anybody want me? These things. And I had a lot of fun with it. And
Yeah,
then I did end up meeting someone who I married, and I created a different blog called Tie the Knot. I got rid of the True Confessions of a Reluctant Bachelorette blog, and
yeah,
then I started writing about my life as a married woman. And I realized that wasn't as much fun. And I
yeah.
realized very early on that I didn't want to talk about my marriage with this man,
Okay.
who I am currently getting a divorce from. But I realized that I did not want to write about it because I wasn't happy within the marriage, right? But I still wanted to write a blog. And so I was like, okay, what can I write that is really meaningful? Because I had the fun Reluctant Bachelorette blog, and then I had this Tied the Knot blog, which was supposed to be fun as well. But I wanted something serious. I wanted something that was really meaningful to me. Now, my Reluctant Bachelorette blog, that was kind of popular because people like to read about people's dates and
Mm.
their disaster dates and whatnot, right? People
Yeah,
like that blog. But when I started writing about my depression and like the positive aspects of depression or whatever, I noticed that I lost a lot of readers. And
yeah.
you know what? I did not care because I
No.
was finally writing something that I felt was meaningful. And one or two people would write to me and say how much they enjoyed it and like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that other people felt this way. I thought that that was success for me.
Yeah,
It wasn't as popular. I didn't have a lot of readership. I still don't. But it was something that was meaningful for me, so I continued with it.
yeah.
So yeah.
That's kind of. I started writing a blog in 2015 when I retired. I was bored of
Mhm.
being retired. I hate retirement. Still do. And
Me
it
too.
was not. Nobody. I mean, it was just like zero readership almost.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to hear about history,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you ask the hard questions like, how come we handled it that way then, and we handled it exactly the same way 200 years later?
Mm-hmm.
And that really upset them. So I said, I'm going to fix you guys. I'm going to make you listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to read me. You're going to listen to me. So I changed it into this podcast
Yeah.
in 2020,
Okay.
and been doing it ever since. And I just love it.
Oh wow, that's great. So you found your platform. You
Yeah, I
found
found my
yeah.
platform. I found coffee time again, just because I'm a coffee drinker.
Mm-hmm.
Drink a lot of coffee, and I figured sit down, have a cup of coffee, and have a conversation with a few guests, and that's what I've been doing. And it's just working out so wonderful. I'm really gaining leadership now.
Nice. Oh, I love that. I love that. And you didn't give up. You didn't give up. Just because nobody was reading your blog doesn't mean that no one wants to hear what you have to say. You created a podcast and suddenly people want to hear what you have to say. I love that.
I still do history. I'm doing one now. I'm working with AI. I'm doing
Hmm.
a comedy one.
Oh,
Just 'cause I've
cool.
always wanted to do a comedy one. I never have, so I'm getting one done. It'll be middle of November before I get it done, but I
Nice.
can't wait to get it done because I've already got it started. It's really funny, so that'll be a
Oh,
good
okay.
one.
Oh,
I
wow. Okay. I I have to admit that I'm not a history lover. I understand the importance of knowing our history, but it doesn't interest me.
no, well, then that's if it doesn't interest you, don't try to do it.
No, I know. Yeah.
What value would a person find in your blog?
What value would a person find in my blog?
Yeah, a depressive
Um,
person.
uh, a depressive person, you said?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Um, I think the idea, from what people have told me, the idea that they are not alone. I know that we're all talking about depression much more than we used to, but still, feelings of depression can leave you feeling alone and
Mhm.
lonely. So I feel that there are people who will find that they can resonate with what I'm saying. in the blog, they can have somebody, sort of verbalize what it is that they're feeling, verbalize what it is that they're thinking, that they can't verbalize themselves. I think somebody will be able to look at perhaps my positive perspective, my positive spin on what it is that I have experienced. Because at the end of each post, I say, here's my positive perspective, or here's my positive take on it, So hopefully somebody who is depressed will be able to read my words and find that they relate to it, and find a positive perspective themselves.
Well, I'm sure a
I'm
lot of
not,
people have. I'm
yeah,
sure a lot of people have for sure.
I hope, yeah.
Something just entered my mind because I'm a Christian, and I just wondered if you were, if that had played any role, religion or spirituality played any role in your recovery.
Say that one more time, if what?
Did spirituality or religion play any role in your recovery, or have you not done it?
I'm gonna say not religion, but more spirituality, maybe.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that I started understanding the law of attraction.
Hmm.
I started listening to the experts on the law of attraction and finding that not so I don't know if it's spirituality then, but just understanding that what we want of the world and what we think of the world and what we feel that the world or the universe could give to us.
Hmm.
I started understanding that the things that we believe or put out there will come back to us. And
Yeah.
I feel that that has helped me in thinking about the things that have happened to me. Um, the good things that happened to me, the bad things that happened to me, how did I bring that into my world? How did I bring that into my existence? I felt that, that thinking of myself as a spiritual being, as somebody who is one who believes in the universe, who believes in the world, um, how it can affect my place in it, how it could affect what I think of myself in the world. I feel that that's what helped me, but not necessarily spirituality, although I do believe in God. I am Christian. I don't go to church as often as I used to, but I do believe in prayer and I do pray. Um, I feel that that has its place in my healing, but more so that me thinking about myself in the
Yeah.
world.
Well, I go to church quite frequently.
Hmm.
However, I'm more spiritual than I am religious because I think
Okay.
it's. I took a course from Sarney University, which is the University of South in Tennessee. Took a 4-year course on it's called EFM, Education for Ministries, and
Hmm.
it's a 4-year course, and it's an incredible course. And that's what really got me to the point of being more spiritual than religious,
Hmm. Hmm.
was that course.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I think it's important that we believe in something.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I totally agree with you. What would you say to someone who tells you even today, just get over it? What would you say to them?
I'd say you can't just get over it. If you know how to just get over it, please let me know how so that I can use that.
Yeah, let me
But
know.
I definitely I would say you can't just get over it. There are things that you can do that can help you overcome certain challenges, but getting over it, tell me how to do that and
Yeah,
I'll.
I understand that very well.
Hmm.
How has your depression impacted your relationship with your twin sister? Before we go any further, before you answer that question, I want to make sure you understand these are your questions.
I recognize them from the website.
I thought so.
Yes,
I
yeah,
use them a lot because they help me quite a bit.
yeah,
Although
yeah.
I do come up with my own questions too.
Hmm. Hmm.
So how did it affect your relationship with your sister, or is it affecting it now?
So when as I mentioned before, my sister and I are very close. We are twins. We're fraternal twins. We're very close. But one of those things that I just did not know how to talk to her about was the depression, and she didn't know how to talk to me about it either. And I remember, I don't know what I did with it, but I remember she had written me a card once saying, sometimes I just don't know how to help you. I just don't know what to do for you. Just to be there. And that card meant so much to me. And it kind of while it while we are twins, it kind of separated us in terms of she not knowing how to relate to me and me not
Right.
knowing how to share with her. And it was she was the one who was like, enough with this. You have to talk to somebody. Because she would always tell me that I have to talk to somebody, but when I never did, she's the one who started looking through the yellow pages because remember, it was like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
She was looking through the yellow pages and in order to find a therapist for me, and she's the reason why. And so she our relationship, I think, has become stronger. She understands what I'm going through. She understands that there are times when I am just not thinking straight and I'm not thinking right because I'm in the thick of it. And she's hard on me sometimes. She tells me the things that I need to hear,
Yeah.
and she doesn't like walk on eggshells around me when it's something that's important. There are things that she feels like I don't know how to approach you with this, but there are other things that she's like, you need to hear this, so I'm going to say it. And I
Yep.
appreciate that because I need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any twins, so I don't know what it's like to be that a twin.
Hmm. Hmm.
We discussed this pretty much on why you decided to write about your blog, uh,
Hmm.
about the
Hmm.
depression.
Hmm. Yeah, again, I felt like I could help if I could help one or two people out there, even if they don't do all the things that I've done to help that helped with the depression, at least if they can know that there's somebody out there who feels the same way that they do. And also, I have to admit that writing kind of helps me to purge those feelings, like leave it out on the page. And it's cathartic, therapeutic in a way
It
to
is.
to write about what I'm going through. And when I write my blog and I read what I've written, and I'm always proud of what I've written, and that makes it builds up my confidence, and I feel pretty good about myself. So I write.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought from our earlier discussion on that, because I firmly believe in writing is cathartic, is
Mhm.
therapeutic. I've done it for years. Well, I did until my ex-girlfriend got a hold of them and destroyed all of my journals.
Oh
Like seven
no.
journals. Really
Mhm.
upset me.
Yeah, of
She did
course.
that.
Oh my gosh.
She was an ex-girlfriend the next day.
Mm. I'm sure. She did what she knew would hurt you.
Yeah,
That's horrible.
she knew that. How
Yeah.
bad it would hurt me.
Hmm.
But I wouldn't let her read it.
Hmm.
Nobody reads
Oh,
these but me. Nobody needs to know what's in there but me. I'm the one
oh,
that
so
needs the
that's
help.
why she did it. She wanted to read it that bad?
No, she just wanted to get revenge on me that bad for some other things.
Mm.
She was an angry, vicious, vindictive woman.
Hmm.
I don't know
Hmm.
how I got involved with her at all, but boy,
Yeah.
I sure did. It was a sure mistake.
Hmm. Wow. Yeah.
But kind of like you, I wanted marriage after my
Mhm.
divorce, and I never found it. I'm still not married after 35 years of divorce.
Wow. Yeah.
It's okay now. Now it's okay, but before it wasn't. I was
Right.
really
Right.
looking. Now I don't care.
Right. Good.
75. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Got other
Hmm.
things to do.
Yes. I hear that. Yes. I love that.
What advice would you give to depressives out there?
Um, I already mentioned it. Find something that you are passionate about, something that you feel like you cannot live without and do it, like something creative. There are people like for you and your podcasting. I love that you're
Yeah,
podcasting, that's your creative outlet. Some people garden, some people paint, some people write, some people make music. I think find whatever it is that you're passionate about and just let all of that out in your art. I feel that's
yeah.
I love giving that piece of advice because that's what I did with
I think
writing.
that I think you're right.
Hmm.
Find out what you're passionate about, which is
Hmm.
difficult enough as it is, and then
Hmm.
do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's
If you
excellent.
think hard enough, there are some people out there that I like. as I mentioned before, I'm a teacher, and there are some students who are like, I'm not good at anything, but you are. There's got to be something. If you think about it, what is the thing that you love to do? What, even if it's watching movies every day, I don't know. If it brings you joy, why not do it?
Yes,
Right?
totally. I totally agree with you there, Kathy.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way to do this. We found this blog and got started on it. Although I was scared, very scared to get on the microphone. My first five or six, I think, maybe seven, eight, I think it is, are all audio, but they're on the
Mm-hmm.
Constitution and a few other
Mm-hmm.
important historical facts going not too far back, but a lot of historical facts that I
Mm-hmm.
got into. And then I started having guests on.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it took off. That's when I really started having fun.
Wow, that I love that. That's so great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've had some really good guests,
nice.
really incredible. I was hoping this one needs to go viral. This needs to go viral. This needs to go, and it never
Mm-hmm.
happened. But
Hmm.
it got read. If somebody listened to it, several
Yes,
people do.
nice, nice.
So, what's for your future? You say you're getting divorced, so what's in your future?
My future is all about my writing. I am so in love with writing at this time. So when I was writing my first novel, The Box, it was all done. There were no other writers that I was having conversations with. I was not in a writing community, nothing like that. But now I am. I'm in several different writing communities. I was on a podcast just yesterday because I won first place in a writing competition, which really
Yeah,
boosted my ego.
good.
Thank you. Yeah. And I'm meeting people. I'm doing things that I was always afraid to do, like talk to people, tell people about my work, tell people about myself. I'm doing all of this stuff, and it's making me, I feel like I have a new lease on life, and it's making me feel really, really good. So I'm going to continue to writing because my writing is what's taking me places. So I'm working on a new novel at this time. I have a mentor who's helping me with it, and I'm back for a very long time. I haven't been writing any blog posts, but I'm back to writing blog posts, and I'm just writing is my life right now, and
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
Well, when do you think you'll be finished with that new book?
I
Any
don't know.
idea?
It's hard to say. I just yesterday decided that by June I want to at least have finished the first draft at least. But
Okay.
it's a challenging book for me because it goes back into I have to learn more about my own culture as a Haitian American person.
Yeah.
Um so I'm doing a little bit of research, and I just told you that history is not one of my strong points, and so I
No.
have to do a little bit of research on Haiti's history, and just a little bit um understanding about the culture. And I feel like it's a bit challenging, but I feel like that's why I need to continue with it, challenge
Okay.
myself that way.
Asian American. Yeah, I know many of them from the Vietnam era.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
I was fortunate enough not to end up in Vietnam, but I ended up in a combat zone anyway.
Oh, I
Wasn't
see.
Vietnam though.
Hmm.
Uh, when you get that new book, I'd like you to contact me and come back on and talk about
Oh,
your book.
I would be happy to. Thank you.
I'll put you
Thank
on
you.
my list to re-invite in June.
Hmm.
Thereabouts, and just check and see how you're doing, where you're
Okay.
at.
Oh, okay. That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, I like having people back. I've had some of them times.
Hmm.
What happened?
I don't know. I see your picture.
Yeah, it shut off my everyone. I
Okay,
don't
there
know
you
what
go.
happened there. That's weird. It's never done that before. It's done several other things, but never that before. Turned off my
Never
camera.
that. Well, at least we got it back.
Yeah, I got it like that. So, uh, one thing that I like to talk to my guests about is the fact that I have a app out there. It's called WeTransfer.
Hmm.
It's a free service to you, and I'll send you a copy of this after I get it edited and ready to go be published,
Hmm.
and give you copyright permission because it's
Hmm.
copyrighted to me, obviously.
Hmm.
Copyright it. give you copyright permission to use it on any platform you want to use it in any way you want to use it. Would you like that?
Perfect. Okay, that sounds great. Thank you.
It's going to be several weeks,
Okay.
or we transfer, not deliver it. What
Okay.
happens is you get an email saying it's on there and you download it.
Okay.
That's a free service to you. And they transfer these huge, and it's not that big because I can condense these down pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
And probably it's going to be a little while. I got 150 megabytes of space.
Mm-hmm.
I got 87% of it used up.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
going to be a
wow.
little while
Wow.
before I get to you publish, but I'll have it ready to send it to you. We transfer very quick, within 10 days.
Okay.
You get an email from me
Sounds
at
great.
Podmatch, or unless I've got your other email,
Oh, yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Okay? Because
Okay. Sounds good.
I think people, my goal in this is to help people.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got this copy of this, excellent. This has been an excellent conversation. I really enjoyed it. I really had
Yeah, I
fun with
did
it.
too. Yeah, I did too. Thank
It
you.
showed me a lot of stuff that I knew and had forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
I've been out of the
It's
field for so long. I
yeah.
retired in 2015. I haven't been a therapist since then.
Right, right.
But
Wow.
you give you advice out there on what you do, what you want to do, and do it. Just don't hurt nobody when you're doing it.
Absolutely. I love that.
I just rename one of my podcasts.
Hmm.
Do what you want to do. Just don't hurt nobody.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm going to write up here. I'm going to put on the when I edit this, I'm going to write up the book or the box, and that way everybody will see your book label when
Perfect.
when they go and watching the show.
Thank you. Yeah, 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 definitely. Thank you.
You bet. And probably on the other side, put the cross. It's Kathy's cross, right?
Kathy's Cross, yes.
Okay. I put that to the ball in the book, and that way you'll be blocked. That way you have both of them on there, and people can get you some more viewers and listeners.
Oh, that
I
would be
hope.
fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think what you're doing, I think is very important.
Mm, thank you. Yeah, I feel it too. I felt like part of me feels like I was meant to do this and share my story. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
I think we all are to a certain degree. We just
Yeah,
don't do
right?
it.
Yeah, yeah.
If Robin Williams had shared his story, we might still have him around for his comedy.
I know. And who knows whose lives he could have touched by sharing his story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you bet. If you just and it's the way it is with me. It's the reason I share a lot of my story in my when I'm talking to people is because
Mhm.
they got to know.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of what was happened to me, what was done to
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
I am ashamed of some of the things I did that I
Hmm.
did
Right.
before I started recovery. But
Hmm.
as far as what happened, no,
Right.
I was not responsible for what happened to me,
Exactly.
and we got to remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we still got lots of time here. Didn't realize we were going that soon.
Well, I came on 10 minutes
Oh, that's
before
right, 10 minutes
11.
early.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Yeah.
puts us right on time. So
Yeah.
don't hang up. I'm going to end the recording.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for inviting.
Thank you for listening to the show. There are show notes and a place to comment at https:// coffee time again .libsyn.com/website. He hopes that you liked what you heard and will tell others about him. Dale is attempting to get a following that both disagrees and agrees with him. He does not want yes men. If you disagree, wonderful. He is happy to have you here as a part of the Coffee Time Again team. Dale does not talk about the news of the day. He is attempting to give a history lesson that is just as important about what is going on in the headlines of today. Please do not hesitate to contact him. Just remember that Dale wants a clean show, meaning no cussing, name calling, yelling, or hate allowed. You can disagree with him and not be disagreeable about it. Support him and help keep this alive. https colon // glow.fm / coffee time again.